This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through your 2019 Catalina destination trailer, model 33FKDS. All right. So you have two doors, obviously. The normal regular door is your bedroom door, and then this sliding door goes into your living area. You have a power awning with light, outside speakers. Okay, if you want to hang it or have a TV set out here, there's video out and power. Okay, so you could set a TV out here. Furnace vent, of course. Your water heater is a 10-gallon, so it's a bigger one. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So keep in mind. Let me get this piece of tape off here. Hold on. So you can see it. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about the camera work. Okay, so you can see that there's a switch right here. That switch controls this heating element right here, electric heating element. So the bottom line is that switch has to be on in order to run the water heater on electric, but there's also going to be switches inside too. That's kind of a duplicate switch, so just so you know that it's there in case you ever have an issue. There is a rocker switch for the heating element. Okay, you got two tanks, two LP tanks full, and a battery behind it. You got stabilizers, 4 of them, 2 slide rooms. Alrighty. So, where do we start here? So to fill your onboard tank, if you ever at a campground or a lot that does not have plumbing on the lot, you can pre-fill your tank here and use the onboard water pump to pump water. But normally you're just going to use this. It's your city water hookup. You're just going to hook your water up to it and you're all set up, pressurized, ready to go. This is a black tank flush. After you dump your black tank, you can hook up a hose to this, turn it on, and make sure your black tank valve's open, and it'll spray the inside of your black tank out and clean it off. You have a second gray tank here, which is the galley tank, right? And then you have your black tank here, valve, and your gray tank valve here for the bathroom. So basically you'll dump the black first, and then you'll dump the gray, just because the gray is cleaner water than the black tank water, which is toilet water and waste. So always dump your black first. Okay, and you would leave that valve open like I stated, and then you could hook up the hose to your black tank flush and flush it out. Okay. So you want to make sure that your roof is always in good condition, so you want to have somebody go up there and inspect it once every 90 days or so, just to look for cracking or separation in any of the sealants, or any debris has hit the rubber membrane and damaged it, things like that. So you just have it inspected. It's very important. All right, we're going to go inside, where it's warm, I hope. Yep, it sure is. Okay, so we're still cleaning in here, but we'll go through with the video. Okay, so we'll start right here. This is just your fan controller there. This is your main. One second. This is your main control panel here. So I'm looking at the switches now for the water heater. Okay, so I'll have to correct what I said a little bit. That switch that I showed you that's in the lower left-hand corner of the water heater on the outside, that's the only switch for electricity. So once you turn that switch on, it's powered up. Always remember that you want to make sure there's water in the tank before you turn on that heating element, or you'll just wind up burning it up real quick. So you always want to make sure there's water in the tank. You know that by if your city water is hooked up, right? And then you go and, let's say, into the kitchen here and open the hot water valve. Well, when the tank is empty, it'll just be blowing air out, right? But as the water heater tank fills up more, it'll be a mixture of air and water. Pretty soon you get solid water coming out of the hot water. side, and that's how you know it's full. So you always want it full before you turn on the power to it, okay? Now if you light it on gas, you can light that from here, okay? The water pump switch is here. These are just lights. Your slide outs, your awning. Now never leave your awning out unattended. So when you're not at your lot, you want to roll it in because you don't want the wind to damage it. It can happen very quickly. So keep in mind, you never want to leave it out unattended. These are your two slide out buttons here. Fresh water tank there. It's empty, as you can see. Your battery's charged. Black tank is empty. Gray tank is empty. Galley tank is empty. Galley tank is the gray water tank for the kitchen. Okay. As these, let me just do one here. As these fill up, it'll light up in 1/3 increments as you go up. Once you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping the gray and black tank. Okay. It basically it'll give you a good idea where you stand with your tanks anyway. Okay. All right. Let me move on a little bit. Here's this remote here is for your fireplace. Right. Now the fireplace has 2 fan speeds. It has you can change the appearance of the flame. It's got a timer. It's got a thermostat. So there's a lot you can do with it. You can do it by the buttons on the front of it or using your remote here. This remote is for your sound system, which is right there. Now, okay, this particular unit, it will play discs here, CDs and DVDs. You can stream off a USB port right here by plugging a USB drive in there. You can hook up wirelessly with Bluetooth and use, stream video or pictures or music off of your phone or tablet. Okay, and then you have 2 speaker zones. One is inside the trailer, 2 is outside. And the rest of the stuff is pretty much any typical things you'll see on a radio, so you can read the manual a bit, but you can do presets on it, the usual stuff. Okay, your TV will swing out. It's a swing out bracket, but let's see if you can see right here. See this green light here, this LED? That you can shut that off if you want, but when you're using the antenna, you always want it on. Okay? Otherwise you won't get a good signal. Your refrigerator is, you don't really have to do anything. It's just a standard 12 volt DC compressor refrigerator. So, okay, your range top, all you do is spark it to light it. This is the sparker, you turn it clockwise. This is a knob for this rear burner. You can see, so you got 3 burner knobs, and then you got the 4th one, which is for the oven. The oven, basically you spark it to light it. There's way at the back here, if you can see it, is a pilot light. Okay, so you will go to pilot. Oops, I'm sorry. Go to pilot right here, which is that little flame. Then you depress this. You keep it depressed. Then you would light the burner, or the pilot. You would light the pilot light for the oven. Keeping this depressed, you hold it in for another 10 or 20 seconds after you've lit it, and then you go to whatever the operating temperatures you want to be at, and it'll cycle on and off as an oven does. But once you turn this to off, the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you're gonna have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. This is your vent fan and light. Microwave works like any other microwave. Now, if they don't do this, this is important. If they don't do this for you before you leave, I assume you're having this delivered, so I'm sure the driver will take care of it. But if you look down in here on all these windows, there's a glob of caulk. Right, that caulk is covering weep holes, so the windows drain out properly. If you, the reason they have it in there is when you're pulling this down the road during the rain, the water would seep in that way. So they plug them that way, so that doesn't happen. But when you get to where you're going to set up, you'll scrape that off and unplug it. I'm sure the driver will do that for you when he delivers it. I suspect so. Okay, just keep in mind that has to be done. Of course, your table drops down to a bed. This is a, let me see what we got here. Yeah, this is a jackknife, or I'm sorry, this is a 3-panel fold-out hide-a-bed. So you're just going to take the back cushions off, and you're going to grab it right here, fold it out, drop the back in place, and you've got a nice, excuse me, nice foam bed. All right, this is your carbon monoxide and LP gas detector here. It should always be lit like it is, like green. If it's not green, you always want to get it serviced. Okay, what else do we have here? Excuse me. Okay, we'll go a little farther. This is your thermostat. It's just an analog thermostat. It's self-evident. Heat, fan, and cool. Fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. The shower and sink work like any other shower and sink. The toilet, just keep in mind, it has to have black, the black tank, which is directly below it, has to have some water in it before you start using it. So you'll step on the pedal after you've hooked up the water anyway. You'll step on the pedal, the flush pedal, and put about a gallon or so of water in the tank. Doesn't have to be exact, just something to get you started. So keep that in mind. Also, another fan. Okay, this is pre-wired for it's a 55 amp or a 50 amp system, so it's pre-wired for a second air conditioner. That's what they're telling us right here. I'm sorry about my camera work, but it'll fit right in that house, or that, gosh. The air conditioner will fit right in this vent. You pull the vent out and drop it in there, and it's a very simple hookup. So it's pre-wired for an extra air conditioner if you find you need it. Okay. Video out and power to put a TV here. Down here, this is your power converter. It converts 110 AC to 12 volt DC. Also keeps your battery charged as long as you're plugged in. Okay. Alrighty. Let me look around and see if we've got everything. I think we have. Yes, I believe we do. So, first of all, I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Keep in mind what I said about maintaining your roof, and you do that by, first of all, having it inspected, and just to make sure all the seals are tight with no cracking or separation. You're going to go up there, or have somebody go up there, whichever you do, many times before you ever see any touch-up work that needs to be done, but you inspect it just in case. That's the thing. You always want to be safe, so you inspect it on a regular basis, and when you do see some cracking or separation, eventually you will, all trailers do, you have to do your roof maintenance on it, okay? Thank you very much.